Forget the superficial claims circulating on dating forums or repeated by misinformed expats. Today's video reveals authentic perspectives from real Filipinas that will transform how you understand their relationship priorities. What matters most to them might surprise you. And it's not what most foreigners assume. I'll share insights about their true values that could completely change your approach to dating in the Philippines, potentially saving you from serious relationship missteps. The dating landscape in the Philippines. What if everything you thought you knew about dating Filipinas was based on outdated stereotypes? The Philippine dating landscape in 2023 presents a fascinating blend of traditions and modernity that many foreigners struggle to navigate. Today's dating scene in the Philippines exists at a crossroads. In major urban centers like Manila, Cebu, and Davao, smartphones buzz with dating app notifications, while traditional family gatherings still serve as matchmaking opportunities. This duality creates a complex environment where a young professional might swipe through potential matches on Bumble during her lunch break, then attend a family dinner where relatives subtly introduce eligible bachelors. The contrast between Western perceptions and Filipino reality is stark. Many foreigners arrive expecting either ultra-conservative women bound by strict Catholic values or women primarily seeking financial security. The truth lies in a more nuanced middle ground. Modern Filipinas, particularly in urban areas, pursue education and careers while maintaining connections to traditional values that emphasize family approval and thoughtful courtship. Dating apps have transformed how young Filipinos meet potential partners. Tinder reports over 1.6 million active users in the Philippines, while local apps like Paktor and Filipino Cupid continue gaining popularity. These digital platforms create a preliminary screening phase before more formal courtship begins. Consider Maria, a 27-year-old accountant from Manila, who meets matches through Bumble but won't introduce a man to her family until they've dated for at least a month. Online is where we meet, but family approval is still where relationships become official, she explains. A 2022 survey found that 42% of urban couples aged 18-30 first met online, yet 78% still participated in traditional courtship rituals before becoming official. Relationship priorities reveal interesting patterns. Research by the University of the Philippines Sociology Department shows that Filipino women aged 18-35 rank emotional compatibility as their top relationship priority, 67%, followed by shared values, 58%, and financial stability. Physical attraction ranks fifth at 37%. These findings challenge the oversimplification that economic factors dominate Filipino dating preferences. The Philippines experiences one of the most pronounced urban-rural divides in Southeast Asia, creating distinctly different dating cultures. In Metro Manila, dating often resembles Western patterns. Couples meet through apps or social circles, enjoy restaurant dinners, watch movies, and build relationships with relative independence. Dating expenses are increasingly shared, reflecting women's growing economic participation. Meanwhile, in rural provinces like northern Luzon or Mindanao, traditional courtship prevails with practices like harana, serenading, or pamanikin, formal parental blessing. Extended families evaluate potential partners, and courtship involves service to the family alongside romantic gestures. As Liza from Alacos Norte explains, "In our community, a man proves himself by helping my father in the field. Anyone can buy dinner, but not everyone will harvest rice with your family in the hot sun." Economic development further shapes these regional differences. In economically developed areas, women's financial independence has transformed expectations. The Philippine Commission on Women reports that 64% of urban professional women contribute equally or more to dating expenses. These women seek partners who respect their career ambitions and share domestic responsibilities. In regions with fewer opportunities, compatibility in life goals and work ethic becomes crucial for building a stable future together. As Ina, a 26-year-old teacher from Samar province shares, "I value a man who works hard and plans for the future. We face enough challenges here. I need a partner who will work alongside me. Cultural concepts like tempuhan, subtle expression of disappointment, and hiya, shame or face-saving, influence relationship dynamics more than grand gestures or physical chemistry. Understanding these unspoken emotional currents is essential as public behavior reflects on entire families, not just individuals. Urban and rural dating preferences manifest in specific examples. In Manila, a successful date might involve an innovative restaurant experience, thoughtful conversation, and genuine interest in a woman's career. A marketing executive from Makati explained, "I appreciate when someone researches a unique restaurant that matches my interests. It shows they're paying attention to who I am, not just treating me according to some Filipino girlfriend template." Public displays of affection, while more restrained than in Western countries, have become increasingly acceptable in cities. Rural dream dates center around community events like fiestas or family activities, with couples rarely left alone together early in relationships. A woman from Batangas described her ideal date: "When he joined our family's fishing business for a day and learned from my father, it meant more than any fancy city date. He showed respect for our livelihood and tradition." Communication styles also vary by region. Urban Filipinas typically appreciate direct communication about relationship intentions, while rural areas often rely on family intermediaries. As one cultural anthropologist notes, in rural communities, a man demonstrates seriousness by bringing gifts to the entire family. The message is, "I'm preparing to join your family unit." One universal aspect, across contexts, is the importance of respecting family connections. Even the most independent, cosmopolitan Filipina values a partner who makes genuine efforts to connect with her family members, showing authentic interest in the relationships that have shaped her identity. Understanding Filipino dating culture requires recognizing it isn't simply traditional or modern, but exists along a spectrum influenced by geography, education, economic opportunity, and family background. Each woman navigates her own balance between cultural expectations and personal desires. Cultural foundations of Filipino relationships. Beneath each Filipina's personal balance of tradition and modernity lies a cultural operating system that few foreigners ever truly decode. This invisible framework governs relationship dynamics in ways that can mystify outsiders. Understanding three fundamental Filipino cultural concepts, virtually unknown to most foreigners, may be the difference between becoming her partner or remaining perpetually confused about what went wrong. At the heart of Filipino relationship culture lies pakikisama, a concept that transcends simple translation. Pakikisama represents an intricate social contract that prioritizes group harmony over individual desires. Imagine a family dinner where a disagreement arises. Rather than asserting her opinion forcefully, a Filipina might gently steer the conversation toward common ground, valuing relationship peace above being right. When dating a Filipina, this value manifests in subtle expectations about conflict resolution and social integration. Unlike Western relationships where direct confrontation might be valued as honest communication, a relationship guided by pakikisama emphasizes finding agreement and maintaining peace. This explains why some Filipinas appear overly agreeable in early dating phases. They're honoring a deeply held cultural value. For a foreigner accustomed to relationships built on passionate debate and clear boundary setting, this orientation toward harmony can be misinterpreted as passivity or lack of opinion. In reality, it reflects a sophisticated social intelligence that prioritizes relationship preservation above winning arguments. Equally vital is utang na loob, a concept of reciprocal obligation that extends far beyond simple gratitude. Think of it as an invisible ledger of emotional debts. When someone helps you during difficult times, you carry a responsibility to reciprocate that may last for years. This debt of gratitude creates an intricate web of mutual responsibilities that foreigners often fail to recognize. When a Filipina's family welcomes you into their home or prepares a special meal, they're initiating a meaningful exchange that carries expectations of future reciprocity. The power of utang na loob in relationships creates a dynamic where kindness generates lasting bonds rather than one-time transactions. This explains why helping your Filipina partner's younger brother with schoolwork or assisting her parents with a household project carries more relationship currency than expensive jewelry or luxurious dates. These actions create a positive debt cycle that strengthens family integration, a crucial factor in relationship success. The third cornerstone is hiya, encompassing a complex sense of social propriety and face-saving. Imagine hiya as an invisible social compass that guides behavior toward maintaining dignity and respect. A Filipina guided by hiya carefully guards against actions that might bring embarrassment to herself or her family, creating subtle behavioral codes that many foreigners misread. This value explains why public displays of affection that seem innocuous to Westerners might make a Filipina deeply uncomfortable despite her genuine affection. Her concern is maintaining proper hiya within her community. Understanding this cultural dimension reveals why relationship progression often follows different timelines and why certain behaviors are reserved for private settings. Community perception carries extraordinary weight in Filipino relationships, functioning almost as an additional relationship partner. The desire to maintain a positive image influences countless relationship decisions, from appropriate dating venues to suitable partners. A young woman's reputation remains a significant concern, with family honor closely tied to her relationship choices. This explains why meeting at family-friendly locations or group settings often takes precedence over private dates early in relationships. This community orientation manifests in dating behaviors that prioritize relationships viewed favorably by the broader social network. Being introduced to friends and family isn't simply a milestone, it's often a prerequisite for relationship advancement. Presenting yourself respectfully to her community becomes as important as your treatment of her directly. Filipino relationship culture often emphasizes kindness, understanding, and shared values as the foundations of connection. The cultural concepts we've explored naturally direct attention toward character attributes that sustain long-term relationships rather than immediate physical compatibility. This prioritization explains why gestures demonstrating respect for family frequently carry more weight than romantic overtures directed solely at your partner. In a culture where relationships are viewed through a family and community lens, actions that acknowledge this broader context demonstrate deeper understanding. A foreigner who brings small gifts for younger siblings or helps with household tasks signals cultural competence that sets him apart. Family approval represents more than a formality. It's often the decisive factor in relationship progression. Winning over a Filipina's family through demonstrated respect, clear intentions, and cultural sensitivity can open doors that might otherwise remain firmly closed. This is where understanding pagmamalasakit, genuine care demonstrated through everyday actions, becomes essential. Rather than grand romantic gestures, pagmamalasakit manifests in thoughtful behaviors that align with her values. Learning basic Tagalog phrases, remembering important family birthdays, or helping prepare for family gatherings demonstrates this quality. These actions speak volumes in a culture where showing care for her extended family often matters more than lavish attention toward her alone. When a foreigner understands these cultural foundations, his approach to relationship building transforms. A date that considers her need to maintain proper hiya while creating special moments will resonate more deeply than one borrowed from Western romantic playbooks. For foreigners navigating relationships with Filipinas, these cultural concepts provide critical insights that transcend the simplistic traditional modern dichotomy. Understanding these deeper cultural operating principles reveals nuanced relationship expectations that exist regardless of a woman's personal position on the traditional modern spectrum. Even the most cosmopolitan, independent Filipina likely maintains some connection to these foundational values, though her expression may differ from more traditionally oriented counterparts. The manifestations of pakikisama, utang na loob, and hiya evolve across generations and settings. but their underlying influence persists across demographic boundaries in ways that continually surprise foreigners.